Hi, this is Pastor Doug. At First Baptist, we've been going through the Lent devotional, The Road to Joy. And I love the cover, and really in the back cover as well, that really picks the road of discipleship, of following Jesus, as one that has lots of twists and turns, lots of ups and downs, and some dark times and some really bright times. And you think of the path that Jesus took, and it was not exactly a straight line. There was lots of ups and downs and twists and turns, and there was times where he faced struggle and hardship and temptation and frustration, rejection. Yet there was also glorious times. I'm sure every time there was a healing, every time a deliverance, every time when people got it, they actually believed, and Jesus sometimes would be amazed. He's like, wow, this is amazing faith that I'm seeing demonstrated here. Even with the cross looming ahead, Jesus, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the Father. And so we too are called to follow Jesus by denying ourselves, picking up our cross daily, and following after him. I summarized that this last week by saying we need to learn to say no to self and to say yes to Jesus. I think back in my own life that as a young child, I was able to say yes to Jesus. It just kind of grew up into that. But there was a time at age 16 to make a decision point. Was I really going to say yes to Jesus, or was I going to follow the pull of the world around me and even the pull of my peers? Which was I going to choose? And then I think of another time at age 20 where kind of a time of personal crisis. And was I still going to trust and hang on to Jesus despite some of the challenge in which I faced? And I think following Jesus is like that. There are these moments of big decisive times of saying no to self, or no to the pull of the world, or no to temptation, and saying, yes, I'm going to follow Jesus. And then there's just those moment by moment, day by day, moment by moment. And many times we say yes to follow Jesus, but sometimes we still say, no, I'm going to try this my way, which is always the poor choice. This Sunday, we're going to talk about grace, and how grace is what enables us to start that journey and that path of faith. Grace is what sustains us. Grace is what gives us the strength to endure. Grace is what enables us to sense God's forgiveness because of what Jesus has done on the cross, that he truly has put aside our sin and our rebellion and opened up for us that intimate relationship with God, that friendship with God that is worth more than anything else we could ever have. So questions to consider is, have you ever started that journey of faith? Have you ever started that walk of joy in following after Jesus, of saying no to myself, to my way, and I choose Jesus and his way, and I receive his forgiveness that he's extended to me through his death and resurrection? Have you wandered from that path? Maybe you've been on that path, but you've sort of drifted. Are you willing to say, Jesus, would you draw me back? I want to get back on that path. Help me to take those steps back. Or maybe perhaps you're walking that path, but it's just a hard road. It's a difficult season. Ask Jesus for that strength to endure. Help me, Jesus, even today, to be able to keep my eyes fixed upon you and experience your empowering presence and your empowering grace. The walk of following Jesus is a road to joy. And the one who calls you to follow him is the one that also goes before you, behind you, and alongside of you to see you through. May you take great hope and comfort and joy in that today. This is Pastor Doug.